What's up guys, Cryomancer here, and today I'm going to be featuring another one of my personal hobbies that I really enjoy, and this is me playing Dungeons & Dragons. I'm not playing Dungeons & Dragons this time around, as you can see I'm alone, but I am the Dungeon Master to a campaign that I have ongoing currently. And as such, I thought I would start telling a little bit of the story on here. Now, unlike most campaigns, this campaign is designed around the idea of being able to travel between planes of existence. Each plane of existence is treated as another world. They each have their own design, characteristics, flaws, creatures, and intelligent beings. So far, I have come up with 11 planes for this campaign, and have a main story with a quote-unquote big bad final boss, so to speak, that is wreaking havoc across the planes in different and interesting ways. And my player's job ultimately is to find what's causing the changes in the plane, find out what it is and who it is, and then solve the problem. Currently we are still in the very early stages of this campaign, but they have already visited 3 separate planes, which is pretty interesting so far. I wasn't expecting it to happen this soon. Also, due to changes in jobs, 2 characters have been killed off in the campaign, and as such I will also be featuring character designs that I've worked on myself, so that there won't be too many missing links in the party, just in case things start to go a little awry. So today I am going to be talking about the first plane that I designed, one of the most influential planes in the campaign, and it is called Icastra. I have dubbed it the Plane of Daylight and Dark. This plane is made entirely out of complementary opposites. For every good and just being, there is an evil and unjust being. But the daylight and dark periods work similarly to the separation or segregation of the good and bad people. The dark dwellers, or the evil beings, will only come out in the night period, and the just and good beings will only come out during the day period, and each period is exactly 12 hours. The hour system in a day works just like Earth's. So it creates a very interesting dynamic between the two, and law enforcement to keep them at bay. Okay. It says that, or what I have written down, I should say. 6-hour work shifts for day dwellers, and a strict curfew. The curfew is in place to maintain the safety of day dwellers and dark dwellers. Say they must all be in by dark. That's pretty self-explanatory as to the reason why. Or they might die, because even though they are just and the day dwellers are just, the night dwellers will have to hand over the day dwellers that are infracting upon the law to the proper authorities. And if they do so, the authorities of the day dwellers believe fully in capital punishment. The night dwellers come out at night. Thieves, assassins, mob bosses, mercenaries, evil beings and races that reflect that will become more prominent at night, such as demons and imps and possibly tieflings. The classes will also reflect that, as I mentioned, assassins and mob bosses, so to speak, will be a big role in the night. And during the day, the night dwellers, dark dwellers, will be asleep, but during the night, the day dwellers will be asleep. It's a pretty exact system. For every creature of a being of a given orientation, whether it be good or evil, there is an opposite, such as for every cherub that flies through the sky during the day, there is a demon that flies through the sky at night, so on and so forth. The only rule that the dark dwellers must follow is to not harm any day dwellers. And the only rule that the day dwellers must follow is to not harm the dark dwellers. This is extremely crucial because this is a plane of complementary opposites. And the balance that sits for complementary opposites is very fragile. To upset this balance would be to wreak havoc on the plane itself, and possibly begin another what's called still winter. A still winter is the plane's self-imposed apocalypse. The plane itself stops giving life to the beings that live on it, and heat is all but non-existent any longer. Now, this will cause an ice age that spans however long it takes to kill off all life and then restart anew. It has happened numerous times in the past on this plane. That is very bad. Now, the way I have it designed is that evil beings cannot kill good beings and good beings cannot kill evil beings, but evil beings can kill other evil beings and good beings can kill other good beings, as well as outsiders of the plane can kill beings of either orientation, and the plane will self-replenish the needed good or evil being according to what was killed. Because there's no way that an outside force should be able... There's no way that an outside force should be able to so easily manipulate the plane. It seems like it would be a weakness that the plane could not withstand. There's not much wilderness in this plane, and it's a rather small in comparison to its multiverse. Other planes range usually in vast sizes of 5,000 to 10,000 miles in size. Some bigger, but very rarely are they that big. This one is about 5,000 miles in diameter, and it's full of marketplaces that will hold many rarities in both daytime and night. So what I mean by that is certain things will only be available during the day and certain things will only be available during the night, whether you're going to a normal market or a black market. In this situation, you might get the best enchanting done during the day. You might find the best crafted weapons during the day, but you might find the best stolen goods or the best rare finds that you don't see but except by very experienced travelers and messengers and realistically demons that can go anywhere including the underworld and back except during the night period. So it's worth always checking out, as well as there are beings that are capable of giving information on this plane. Information is no small feat in this campaign. So, to continue, monsters that can be encountered will usually include demons. Will include demons, gargoyles, dire wolves, dire bears, vampires, devils, dark elves, liches, because the Day Dwellers typically will not choose to fight. They are more pacifistic by nature. But given the right circumstances, you might have to fight off a similar corporation such as the Knights Templar. A given church will have its own armed forces that can try to enforce law upon the day-dwelling plane. There are many intelligent beings on this plane, and it's a much higher ratio of intelligent beings to non-intelligent beings. And because of this, the plane itself is going to be a much more easily transversable plane. It makes it much easier to get from one place to another because it's paved roads. It's there's traveling methods outside of just walking. You can get carriages, you can ride horses. They are tamed animals that are capable of being ridden or used as transportation. And this is going to be a very crucial plane in the campaign. This plane is going to be the home of many small tidbits of information that create the main campaign story. As we've already seen in the campaign thus far, this was the first campaign where they started. This was the first plane in the campaign where they began. This is the place where they met Icaran. And Icaran is a magician, wizard that is a necromancer. The most powerful necromancer that's known of thus far. And he is very, very powerful. He was a planeswalker before what was called the Great War. The Great War took place across many planes of existence and resulted in the closing off of one plane entirely to keep the menace that was riddling the world Aetherix of its life force and riddling it with corruption. This became a plane that once was known as the Chaos Plane is now a corrupted plane and can no longer be accessed by any means. But Icaran has tasked this team of individuals, chosen by his own hand, to seek out the cause of mana draining from all reaches of the multiverse that seem to be channeled into one plane. He doesn't know why this is happening, but it seems that all the dark mana in the universe is being channeled from the edges and every other plane of existence into one single plane, and that plane is known as Tyrathia. In the next video, I will be probably featuring Tyrathia. It's one of my personal favorites because Tyrathia is very close to my heart. It is very similar in design to a couple of other planes of existence that I've read about or heard about in books and TV shows, stories. It's kind of a big jumble of things all together, but I think it really works well. Moving on, this plane mana draining that's occurring is altering and changing the way the multiverse works. And that's not good. What Icaran wants to know is who's doing it, why it's happening, and how to stop it. And so he's tasked this group of individuals to do so for him because he can no longer planeswalk himself. he sacrificed his Planeswalker Spark, almost sacrificing himself to close off the plane of Aetherix. The other 4 Planeswalkers that were involved in this closing off of Aetherix did sacrifice themselves to do so. Ikaran is the lone survivor. But I guess it's a handy thing that he did, because one of the main characters in the campaign was also trained by Ikaran on how to be a Planeswalker before he had sacrificed his Spark. As well as a character of my own design was also trained by Ikaran, but is much more experienced than the one that is a main character in the campaign. So, I think I'm going to leave this video here, and during the next video I will feature another plane, possibly a couple of other characters, maybe some more of the story. And if you guys enjoy this, please hit the like button, because I really enjoy talking about it, as well as this allows me to help my fellow campaign members to better understand the planes that I design. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave a comment. Please. I love constructive criticism, and this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. So, thank you guys for watching. This is Cryomancer signing off, and I will catch all of you guys in the next video.